Experience Strategy Podcast with Joe Pine, Dave Norton, and me, Aranza Savas. It's been a minute since we've all gotten to hang out. So if you'll indulge us, we hope you've missed us as much as we've missed you and each other. So we thought we'd start out this episode with just a quick catch up. And then we'll get into today's conversation focused on some new translations of social media and some new ways of thinking about television and media in general. But let's start out with just a quick catch up, guys. So it's been a hot minute, fellas. Joe, you've mostly been on the road, right?
Yeah. I think the since the last time we did a podcast, it was shortly before I left for London Experience Week. I was over there for 11 days. Got to speak and do a workshop, of course, on the transformation economy. This is sponsored by the World Experience Organizations. And if you read the book carefully, like in the preparation chapter and the acknowledgments at the end, it was the World Experience Organization, the WXO, was one of the reasons why I decided the time was right. Because so many experience designers doing so many wonderful work, so many talking about how they want their work to be transformative. And it's just like, okay, this is now a thing. Mm-hmm. So I got to do that. I also did a speech in Bath, England, which is a lovely town. Every time I'd say, I'm going to Bath after, everybody would say, it's a lovely town. I mean, literally, like lovely, everyone person, it's a lovely town. And it was. So it was nice to see a little bit part of England that I had not before. And then last week I had a Dutch client that hired me to do speeches and participate in these summit events that they did in New York and San Francisco, and then also in Berlin in November. So, and that's always fun. This is like the sixth time I worked with them in various different places. And I'll mention one more thing. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, Thinkers 50, an organization that sort of tracks what are the best management ideas out there. The Thinkers 50 named the Transformation Economy as one of the top 10 best management books of 2026.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're not
Congratulations.
Surprised. It's Thanks. The first of many, many recognitions for this book, I have no doubt.
That's awesome.
So what's sort of the prevailing sentiment you're hearing out there on the road?
About business in general, or
no, about the book?
About the book,
transformation.
Well, nobody's told me.
I don't care about business in general.
That's what you're asking. Everybody is effusive in praise and talking about how much a difference it makes. I mean, there have been wonderful stories. One guy, and actually he told me this before, but I met at London Experience Week, an architect experience architect, who said he was quitting the business. He was just like going to stop doing this until he saw me speak at an IAP event at Animal Kingdom in Orlando in 1999 or 2000. And he said, "Oh, this has a future. I want to keep doing this." And now he's, one of the best in the world at it. And I get other stories like that. So many people have told me that the new book just really speaks to them, helping them doing it. One person told me, I thought this was great. One person told me, he said, I'm reading one chapter a week. Right, that's it. I'm doing the reflection. I spend the rest of the week on the reflection questions, then do the preparation. And next week I'm reading the next chapter, and I'm going to spend 8 weeks on this and just get a ton out of it. And we also published this transformation toolkit on our website. High price, high value. Another over 15,000 words on it, where it gives you templates and exercises and tools to be able to apply it to your business. And that's been going, I wouldn't say gangbusters given its price, but I would say it's been going very well and sort of exceeding what expected for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's good news for all of us. I have sort of been on the road on your book tour without you, and that I was doing a fair amount of travel this year already, but most recently for this company, Ideal Protein, which is very much in the transformation space, had me come and talk about mindset and weight loss specifically for their customers and their doctors and their clinicians so that they can better understand midlife women specifically. And you're talking to their board and their CEO about the potential for transformational experiences was really energizing. It was for a company that was born and bred in that category, right? Yep. They were created from the ground up as a transformational company. It wasn't like the layer they piled on. And so for them to hear directly what a powerful defensive moat transformation is at this time was really exciting. And then some of my coaching clients, of course, they're all running transformational companies too. And I have a woman who runs a transformational CPA company.
Oh,
Basically, she
nice.
teaches. It's cool.
I did 2 podcasts for CPAs.
We should connect you. Yeah, I told her about your book, and so we've been having a lot of really great conversations there about for these people in these categories that maybe we don't think of initially as being a transformational role. Most people don't say, I'm going to hire a transformational accountant, but she's created essentially a collaborative learning environment where people are doing just that. And so it's been super exciting to see this work translated in all these different ways. So huge kudos to you. Really, really excited to hear more people speaking the language and actually doing the work.
Right. So, what's interesting is I'm getting the same comments I've gotten for 25 years in experience accounting, which is some variation of thank you for giving me a vocabulary to understand what it is that I do for a living. And it helps me really, tell other people about it and do it better.
Yeah. I think that's the first thing I ever said to you. Dave, what have you been up to?
Well, if it's springtime, then Dave must be talking to companies about joining the collaborative.
Is it that time of year already?
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Come up with a cheer.
Seems like every season. Right. So, as you guys know, we've joined forces. Stone Mantle's joined forces with Cargo to present the collaboratives this year, and I'm playing a role within Cargo as their futurist. So we did this fun little thing where anybody who was interested in joining the collaboratives this year, we offered to do some free analysis for them. Cool. And I'm going to do some small vignette kind of posts over the next couple of weeks. Some of the things that we're seeing across all of these different companies that we've been talking to. This year, we're going to be looking at this topic of it's way harder to win now than ever before. It's way harder to grow than ever before. There is so much parity that is out there. And we're going to use the idea of situational markets, which we've been talking about a lot, as kind of a growth mechanism. How do you identify situational markets? And so we've got a great event coming up on May 21st. If you're interested, let us know. You can sign up to hear more about this particular topic. But yeah, it's springtime, so I'm out working the phones, working the emails. Hey guys, join the collaboratives. That's what I'm doing.
Well, it's been such a wonderful, wonderful events that you've been doing for decades now, right? Is it?
Yeah, 24 years. Yeah.
24 years. Yeah. So you should, in fact, you should send me some of that stuff so I can share it as well.
Yeah.
And post it on LinkedIn as well, because there might be a lot of people there. And for those listeners not watching on YouTube, I just want you to know that this little time off has also changed Dave greatly. I see that he's moved from a pure black T-shirt to a medium gray one.
It's because of what?
Cargo.
It's because of cargo. That's right. That's hilarious.
Things have really changed for Dave. And I love this.
And you, Arances, yes?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've mostly been traveling on doing these talks and workshops. So much of the work I've been doing right now this month, because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, is on invisible loads. I've just been getting calls from so many client companies that I've worked with in the past saying, like, help, our people are not okay. And really looking for some support for folks to better care for themselves so that they can keep going. Because I think we can talk about AI in every episode and it's probably still not enough, or maybe entirely too much. I don't know, TBD. You'll tell us whether you listen or not. But I just think one of the things that's happening that has been a second order consequence of this is that people are moving so much faster with ideas. And so it's like you can get to stage 1 of an idea or a project super fast, and you can build a lot of excitement about it, but then humans have to come in and actually make sure it gets done. And so people are carrying infinitely more projects and more cognitive load, weirdly, because of AI, which I think, we all see pretty easily where we've reduced some cognitive load. But I actually think there's the delta is maybe a little different than we had anticipated.
Interesting.
Yeah. So let's talk about this week's article.
Yes.
So this comes from the arts and culture section of the Wall Street Journal magazine. Headline: The talk show where celebrities and Mom Donnie share their hot takes. Kareem Rama's Subway Takes is a hit on social media. Now he's bringing a new concept to YouTube. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is not because his show is super funny, and it is super funny, and it is super simple. The concept for anyone who's not one of the many millions of people who have watched this is he takes a subway card, a Metro card, which is funny because now there are no Metro cards. They've been replaced by a swipe.
He's using it. I think, from what I can tell, he attaches a microphone to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And he's using it as a microphone.
He's using it as a screen, essentially, for a microphone. Right. And so, but it does really like ground the setting and give it a sense of place. And he sits with someone and he asks them for their hot takes and like firm beliefs on something. So, from an experience standpoint, it's hitting a lot of the notes that we talk about, right? Dave talks a lot now about POV as a core differentiator. He's asking every guest, right, to share a really strong, confrontational, controversial point of view. And then he has a very clear script, which is either I'm going to 100% agree with it or I'm going to 100% disagree. Again, it's all designed for controversy. It's simple. It's second long, and it gets lots of views and lots of shares. So all that's interesting, and yet, there's a lot of content out there that's not doing anything terribly unique. What I think is super interesting is the way he's defining himself in this article. He's like, everybody's thinking too small about YouTube. And the article says that 12% of all views on television are now monthly on YouTube. Way outperforming streaming services. We predicted this years ago. I think it's been probably 6-7 years that we've said, okay, yeah, YouTube is the future. We should all be on YouTube. It's why we put our podcast on YouTube because, frankly, if you ask anybody who's looking at the future of podcasting, they're going to tell you it's on YouTube. And which is funny because then is it really a podcast? I guess not. But whatever. We're hedging our bets. So what he's saying is, why are people thinking about YouTube as an extension of social media? YouTube is actually the future of television. And so we should be thinking about it. And he says he's done thinking about it as a creator. He's thinking of it as Lorne Michaels. And he wants to think of it as a place to build platforms, to build channels, backed out of a deal with CNN in order to move forward and stay true to his vision. Very Lorne Michaels. So I think we have to, as people who care about experience strategy, who are looking at this through many different lenses for our clients and collaborators, we have to start thinking, like, what does this mean for experience strategy in general, and how brands should be thinking about where and how they reach out to their customers with authentic, relevant, timely, entertaining content.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's always wonderful to hear somebody using social media for something other than just being an influencer, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he literally is trying to create stories and tell stories. And of course, he wants them to be broadcast, which is fantastic. And I think there's a lot of things that he's doing right. It reminds me a little bit of, do you remember during COVID when John Krasinski started that
Good News Network?
Good News Network.
Man,
that's
why
what it
was that
called.
not my life? Like, really, that's all I want to do. If you want my dream life, I just want to host Good News Network.
Yeah, and then he tried to sell it, and it just kind of it died really quickly. So
When
Yeah,
my
yeah.
husband gets fired someday because WABC TV goes under, that's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
that's what you're doing. The two of you, you'd be awesome. I think that there's a lot of things that the subway kind of suggests. First, it's very in situ, right? You're like in the place where people are actually doing stuff. you know, there's nothing more quintessential New York. Well, there's a lot of quintessential things in New York, but
Subway with the rat.
yes,
Right. And a
Subway.
slice of pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
And ideally, an unhoused person falling in your lap.
And it reminds me a little bit of something that we were talking about in the collaboratives back in 2015, which is we had a certain very large media company in the program that year, and they were like, "How do we create content that is designed for that 30 seconds that you have, that 90 seconds that you have, that minute and a half that you have?" And now that's just the way we consume so much content today, is it based in these micro moments when we're on the subway, when we're in the car, when we're doing something else. That's the way content is distributed and understood. Some great things came out of that year in the collaborative for that particular media company, and we're proud of the fact that to this day, people are still being influenced or being entertained, I guess is the better word, because of some of that work. So I think there's some great things that are going on just from the environment that Rama has put together, let alone the content, which is also really good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super entertaining. Joe,
But,
what's your take?
Yeah, it
Do I
reminds me
agree
of
100% or disagree with
right. I see. I think that's stupid. Like there are many things I 100% disagree with, not what Dave said. There are a few things I 100% agree with, not what Dave said. But it reminds me. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I want to say like Tubi or something. But there was a short form video company that was created by former HP, former eBay, Meg something, and some Hollywood folks. And it like created in like 6 months, but it was, I think it was like 3-4 minutes and you have episodes. And now I remember there is companies that do exactly that now. And this is a little longer form, less produced, right? Those are more produced things, but I still think that is how people, not me, but that is how many people increasingly want to consume media, as they say, to get the entertainment value out of it.
Absolutely. In fact, my kids, they would much rather watch YouTube than watch Netflix or something along that line. And I haven't made that.
And we should explain it's not like your kids are teenagers, right?
No, they're
are
adults.
20s, 30s.
They're all adults. And I've got to make that transition as well. I was a little put back in the article that they kind of made this a Gen Z
Right.
kind of thing, because I think I'm just taking a little bit longer, but it's because I have a built-in pattern. And I think there's a lot of people, and Arancis is nodding her head, who use YouTube for content, enjoyable content, in lieu of Netflix or something along that line.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be instructional media, right? And
Yeah.
that's still how I use it, right? Like I only use it when I need to fix the toilet or try to.
Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Arancis.
No, I'm just the queen of DIY, and the plumber hates me because I fix things, and I'm like, actually, I broke it. So that's how I use YouTube to break my dryer and my toilet and my sink. But people watch it all day long.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just this reminder again that we have to meet our customers where they are, and they are changing. And any industry that thinks their customer is staying the same and still wants the same thing in the same way with just a slight nuance to what they wanted 10 years ago is just wrong.
Yeah.
I just had a thought that seems profound to me, but I think, well, people had to have thought of this before. But you're particularly thinking of the passing of the late great Ted Turner, right, who invented 24-hour news network with CNN. And there are people that watch CNN and Fox News and some of the others basically all day long as sort of background. And it has segments, not talking about shows, but every single show has segments on the order of 15 seconds to 3 or 4 minutes. And it's infinite scrolling. In fact, you got the little chyron at the bottom that scrolls this way as the show is effectively scrolling that way. Is that not exactly the same?
Yeah, I mean, it is in some ways.
I mean, you don't have to change the channel. It's just like scrolling. Here's another little short segment.
Oh, yeah, it's meeting the same need, but that's always the point, isn't it? Our needs don't change. How we want them to be met does.
Right. Yeah, that's a good Clayton Christensen line. He always believed that the job didn't change. It was just the means of production. I tend to disagree with that. I think the situation...
100%?
I'm not 100% on anything.
Okay.
For our listeners, that's one of Rama's lines. Is he does the 100% thing. So if you're wondering why Joe went there, that's why. So, but I think that the world that we live in is different than the CNN world was. And CNN is certainly trying to, but the ticker tape thing is something that CNN kind of invented way back in the 80s. It's been there that long.
Right, but I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking the actual segments that are going. Those are akin to what we watch YouTube for.
We need to get Arances's another one. We need to get Arances's husband on here. He could tell us.
He'll have an opinion. Yeah. I mean, I think what he would tell you is that traditional media has been too slow to embrace this. And that's the challenge, right? They're trying to figure out how do we show up for, frankly, and I came from a legacy brand. How do we stay true to the older consumer who wanted us one way without disturbing the foundational cost centers and basis of revenue, while becoming relevant to the future? And every company is struggling with that. And we would have to have a much longer episode to answer that question. But the truth is, I mean, I think your older customer has to come with your newer, younger customer, because that's where the future is headed. And right, like it's staying true to your values, those needs again, but also meeting them in a way that feels relevant and timely, and that allows you the flexibility to evolve, because things are just moving too quickly for anything to be too expensive or static.
Yeah, and CNN has a huge presence on YouTube, as do all of the media channels, but it's still different, isn't it?
Yep. It's a whole different vibe. Which, speaking of vibe, join us in the next episode. We're going to talk about modes in a new way. Thanks for listening. Go sign up for the collaborative workshop over on the Experience Strategy Substack. We'll put that link in the notes, or follow Dave or stonemantle.com over on LinkedIn for all the details.
Did I tell you my Easter Bunny joke? I think I did.
What's your Easter Bunny joke?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny who?
Knock, knock.
I'm sure. Who's there?
One more. Easter Bunny. Knock,
Easter
knock.
Bunny. Who's there?
Cargo.
Cargo who?
Cargo beep, beep, and run over all the little ether bunnies.
I'll have to turn that into a clip for
you have to,
Roger.
Right. There you go.
I'm glad you recorded that.
Oh my gosh. All right.